Hi everyone, good evening. Welcome to day 2 of the Evolve Conference 2021, themed the Re-Emergence. Yes, my name is McAnn. It is M to the A to the C to the A to the double N E, and I am the moderator for this event. So I want to welcome everyone joining. Just once you come in, do well to acknowledge in the comment section. I want to know where you are joining from. This is actually Africa's largest and most sought after leadership conference. Yesterday, when we started, we had guests and we had participants all the way from Liberia, Cameroon, Nigeria, and some other African countries, Kenya, and the rest of it. That is, those I acknowledge in the comment section. And today, I know that we're also going to be expecting a whole lot. This is not just a conference that is restricted to a particular set of persons. It is Africa's largest virtual summit. All right, Africa's largest leadership summit. Yes, yes, yes. So yesterday we had an amazing time with three awesome speakers. We had Mr. David Akinwale, who is the convener of the summit, and he talked about the reemergence and you. He talked about the strategies for reemergence, talking about vision, how having a vision is going to help you. You can't talk about reemergence without having a vision. He talked about the power of boarding, how boarding can position you to, move forward in your in reimagine. And also we had Mary talk about she talked about positioning yourself for the corporate world. She talked about how she transitioned from working in the bank to now her being self-employed, and she gave a lot of strategies. And one of the things I know she talked about was knowing your why. Knowing your why. A lot of persons just go into the corporate sector without having a clear vision why they want to start. All right, we already have people joining. Thank you so much, David Akinwale. He's actually the president and founder of Alpha Global Leadership Academy, and they are the hosts of this event. So it is a pleasure and it is my honor to be on your platform. Thank you so much, Mr. David. Mr. David is joining from Lagos. So that is what we're going to do. When you join, tell us where you're joining from, and I am going to acknowledge you right here in the comment section. So I see people are already online. Please do well to, tell me where you're joining from. I love acknowledging people. I don't want to be the only one talking. So I'd love to acknowledge you. And also tell me what, if you were around in yesterday's summit, day 1, tell me what was your takeaway from yesterday's summit. What did you learn from yesterday? So while I keep going through, giving a summary for those who are joining today for the first time. So if you're also joining today for the first time, tell me in the comment section, say, hey, this is my first time. And then I am going to acknowledge you and welcome you to the summit. So Mary talked about how to position yourself to dominate the corporate sector. She talked about knowing your why. She talked about learning the organization ethics. Every corporate organization have their ethics and rules of engagement. And if you want to dominate in the corporate sector, you must do well to learn about the ethics of the organization. And then, oh my God, yesterday, the final session was like, imagine if the Evolve Summit ended yesterday. I will tell you that we've learned a lot with what we learned yesterday. We had Mr. Johnson Aberley come in and he disrupted our thinking. I gave one word for the summit yesterday and I said it was disruptive, especially the last session. He talked about think, go deep, and re-emerge. That was what he talked about. And he talked about mental shift and how he gave the illustration of when you have the concrete and the concrete is being molded, and then when the concrete is molded and you can't easily break it down. So there was something profound he said. So I want you to tell me, I'm sharing because I've not seen anyone sharing in the comment section what they learned. Oh, Victor Inspire says, good evening, great mind, listening from Abuja. Some persons may not know where Abuja is. Abuja is in Nigeria. It's actually the federal capital of Nigeria. So for those of us, my African friends, who joined yesterday. I'm telling you a bit more about Nigeria. I'm also in the capital of Nigeria, which is Abuja. That is where I'm streaming live. So thank you so much, Victor Inspire, for joining from Abuja, Nigeria. All right, I want other people to let me know where they're joining from so that I would acknowledge you. Hey, Fun Felix. Fun Felix says greetings from Port Harcourt, Rivers, Nigeria. Thank you so much, Felix, for joining. It is a delight to have you. I think you're joining today for the first time. Am I right or wrong? I didn't see this name yesterday. I didn't also see Victor Inspire yesterday. Don't mind me. I have a way of recognizing names. So I think you're joining. I don't know. I may be wrong. Maybe you were. There are people who they follow events, but they are the Nicodemus kind of followers. They don't put themselves out. They don't put themselves open there. So I want your engagement today. I love your engagement. You know, I can't see you, but you can see me. And the only way we can maintain that level of connectivity and connection is through the comment section. I want to engage with you. I want your name to be stored in my head. And guess what? One of the objectives for this conference is networking. So we want to see people network. So if you see someone drop a comment and you love the comment, search for the person's name on social media, connect and say, hey, I saw you on Evolve Conference 2021. You dropped a comment. I love that comment. My name is this, so I'm giving you networking tips. All right. So thank you so much, Faith Akinwale. Faith Akinwale says, good evening, leaders. I am Faith from Nigeria. Thank you so much, Faith, for joining. Oh, Victor Inspire say I was here yesterday. All right, he was here yesterday. Please do well to engage with me in the comment section because definitely I'm not going to be taking roll calls, but I've got your names here in my mind, and I have a way of picturing names quickly. Oh, Victor says, never miss a session. So powerful. Thank you so much. Lucky David Nkumar says, good evening, great minds from Akure, Ondo State, Nigeria. When I saw that Nkumar, I was thinking you were a Ghanaian. Are you a Ghanaian, but then you are in Nigeria? The Nkumar sounds like a Ghanaian name. So thank you so much for joining me. Today is day 2 of the RE-EMERGENCE. Day 2. You know, yesterday we set the foundation. And guess what? In building the house, the foundation is usually one of the hardest things to set. Once the foundation has been set, it becomes easier for the structure to be built. So today we are going to be adding blocks to the foundation that has already been laid yesterday. And today we will be looking at assessing the emerging business markets. All right. So yesterday we have to talk about the mind. So today we are going to be looking at the first speaker is going to be talking about assessing the emerging business market. He is an amazing person from Cameroon. I got a hint this evening that he is currently in Kenya. So he will be joining us live from Kenya, but he is from Cameroon. All right. So, all right. Some persons are here. Nkrumah is Nigerian. Nkrumah is Ghanaian. Okay. Thank you so much, Lucky, for that, clarification. I just learned something. Nkrumah is Nigerian. Nkrumah is Ghanaian. Thank you so much, Lucky David. It's nice connecting with you here. Joycelyn says, good evening all the way from Cameroon. Our speaker was here some minutes ago, but he's not currently in the room. Okay, he's here. Oh, our speaker is here. I'm going to acknowledge some persons and then I would play his profile and we will get ready to set up for another amazing time at the Evolve Conference 2021 with the theme, the RE-EMERGENCE. All right, Joyce Lynn says, good evening all the way from Cameroon. Yay! Yesterday, I think we had more Cameroonians dominating in the comment section. I don't know, but I think most of them were commenting. So I would want you to keep engaging in the comment section. I'm taking a roll call, and I'll be giving a higher shout out to the countries with the highest participants. So go get your friends, get your family, tell them the RE-EMERGENCE Summit 2021 has started. Okay, the Evolve Conference 2021 has started, and you want them to be here. You don't want them to miss this. All right, David is saying, listening to higher thinkers will shift your mental frame and change your fortune. That is Johnson Abilene. He was one of our speakers yesterday. So that is what he learned. So do well to also share what you learned in the comment section. Oh my God, this name is so amazing. I'm not going to try pronouncing this name, but I'm going to pin it in the comments on the screen. So I don't want to. Okay, I think I'm going to pronounce La Fortune. I can't pronounce the first one. I am so Nigerian that I can't pronounce on this. Please pardon me. Maybe I don't want to mispronounce your name, La Fortune. Thank you so much for joining all the way from Cameroon. I'm so excited to have you here. And then finally, okay, not finally, because I know some persons are still going to come. Hi, Jerry Gito from Liberia. Yay! I think you're the first person from Liberia for today. I know a couple of persons joined from Liberia yesterday, but for today, you are the first person acknowledging your presence all the way from Liberia. All right, ladies and gentlemen, right about now, we will be having the first speaker who will be talking about assessing the emerging business market. He is from Cameroon, but I'm not going to say so much about him. I'm going to play his profile, and after the profile, he is going to take the stage and teach us how to assess emerging businesses. All right, are we ready? If you are ready, type in the comment section and say ready. All right, I'm going to play the profile right away. Cannot be hanging now.
Javnoy Joybat, also known as Mr. Remarkable, is an award-winning business and productivity speaker, trainer, consultant with over a decade experience alongside physical presence in 12 countries and virtually in 27 countries. Over time, he has worked with and empowered individuals and corporate organizations via his teachings. He is the CEO of COSDEV Group Limited with subsidiary operations in financial services, skills training and recruitment services, technology and investment advisory services, and co-founder and COO of Affer Designs software development firm and host of others. As an alumnus of leading institutions like University of Cambridge, where he is certified leading change expert, MBA in HRM from Rome Business Schools and many others, he has published up to 5 books, spoken in conferences, and consulted almost 600 medium-sized corporate institutions with about 200 published articles in global platforms. He is well armed in strategy and execution, digital transformation, employee essential skills implementation for transformed organizational future, with awards from local and international organizations like YAOS, Mandela Washington Fellow, Tony Elumelu Thinkers 360, and host of others. Ladies and gentlemen, join me as we make welcome Mr. Remarkable.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to this program, this conference. I am super excited to be here with you all, and I want to appreciate the management of Global Leadership Academy, and of course the team that is behind this incredible conference. And I think that there is no better time like right now, whereby we need to talk about re-emergence, because the world is trying to recover from the most dangerous pandemic ever. And of course, the African continent is in a reinvention stage where we need to take over. So thank you so much. And I definitely hope that we are going to exchange a lot of ideas and, of course, a lot of concepts and practice that we can use. As you rightly followed, I'm a Cameroonian, but I am in Nairobi, Kenya for a few days for some business consulting services. My passion is how do we build thriving enterprises across the African continent, because I strongly believe that if the African private sector is very strong and is vibrant and is producing value, expressing value, and monetizing this value, we are going to record a lot of success and definitely help Africa move forward and not and stop moving 10 steps behind. So thank you so much, and it will be very, very exciting. So let me quickly share my screen because I think it's important that what I'll be talking about, we should get to see. And of course, you can take notes on you can ask questions. Of course, you can prepare your questions for the end of the session. And just to catch up with time, I'll make sure that I throw light in a lot of few things, but I love question and answer sessions because when this is done right, a lot of questions and answers lead to value creation and we directly solve the problems of people and provide the advice that they need to build their businesses. Okay, so I will be talking about accessing the emerging business market. And of course, if you talk to any young entrepreneur, one of their biggest, even established businesses, even the richest black man, Dangote, he is still expanding. If you talk to any business person who is wearing the long-term lens, one thing that they will tell you is, I desire to expand. I want to grow. I always say something funny that if you're a business person in Africa and you're not in Nigeria, you're not yet in Africa. Of course, the big market, it's a large market. Same for in East Africa, it's very good to be in Kenya because it's a very big market. Okay, so everybody is in the business sector is talking about accessing emerging markets. And at some point, the question is, what is an emerging market? When we mention an emerging market, what is an emerging market? And I'm going to mention something totally different from maybe what most of us must have read about. And it is very imperative because on a global scale, when we talk about emerging markets, many people talk about emerging economies or developing countries, which is actually true. But in this case, as Africans, I think that there is a way that we can look at this so that we are able to take advantage of this. So to me, an emerging market can be a community. It can even be your village. It can be your town. It can be a nation. It can be a region. It can be a continent that is experiencing growth in terms of population or particular activities. And I will talk about this. To me, this is an emerging market. And when we look at it in this perspective, we can be able to take advantage of the emerging markets around us. And I believe that there are two major types of emerging markets. There is the national emerging market and there is the international emerging market. For example, the national emerging market, let's take Nigeria, for example. Let's say that somebody is in Edo State, or somebody is in Benin, or somebody is in a smaller town or in a state that is still struggling. You know, many people love to come to Lagos. I love being in Lagos. Lagos is hustling, bustling, a lot of energy, and it's an exciting city. And there are many people that have moved to Lagos in the last 10 years because Lagos in the last 10 years was an emerging state in terms of technology, middle class, real estate, and so many incredible things. You see, so for somebody in Benin or in Onitsha or in another city, Lagos could be an emerging market for that person. Maybe you have a service and you understand that my skill set and my value, I think that the emerging market for this, my skill set, is in Lagos. You get a point, or it's in Port Harcourt, or it's in Abuja, or it's the same. Like, for example, I was telling people, one of my clients, that you need to start having plans to be in Nigeria because it's a very big market and it's a very fast growing market also. You see, so an emerging market could also be your immediate town. This is somebody who is in the rural area. The next big town could be an emerging market. That is nationally, right? For us, like in Cameroon, Douala, Yaoundé, these are very big cities that are emerging in diverse sectors. Then the international emerging market, so we can talk about developing economies like in Asia, other African countries like Kenya, Tanzania, Zambia, Malawi, Togo, Ivory Coast, these are all emerging markets also. Or you can go to Southern America, we'll talk about Mexico, Colombia, and all these amazing countries. You see, so when we wear this lens, sometimes many people miss out the emerging markets in their immediate community or their immediate next community, and they're looking for this big market, and sometimes it seems like it's something abstract that they cannot reach out to. So start looking at you like, what is the immediate service that you have, and where is the next immediate community, locality, town, or city or region that they can consume the value that you create, the value that you're expressing, and the community that can consume the value that you're trying to monetize. That could be an emerging market. And that is why let's look at what are the elements that validate an emerging market. And so if you look at some of these elements and look at what I was talking about, like it could be the next city be beyond where you are. It could be the next African country. It could be maybe you going back to your village. You know, you never know, right? Maybe technology is now back in your village, and you can go create something in your community because there's an emerging technology or use of mobile phones and all of that. We'll talk about that. You see, so these are elements that you can use and validate if the locality, a community, a nation, or a town or a city is an emerging market for you. Growth and potential investment, right? Yes, if you see that investors are targeting a particular area, you see that investors are putting money in a particular sector, in a particular town, in a particular stuff, that could be an emerging market. If you are somebody who analyzes the business, the startup ecosystem in Africa, you will notice that there's a lot of money coming to fintech, agri-tech, health tech, and all of that. These are sectors that are pushing Africa to have incredible emerging markets in different countries. High rate of economic growth, the bustling and the hustling can enhance in an area to become an emerging market. Increase in per capita income. Maybe citizens are having more access to money. They're able to create value, sell value, and make a lot of money. And consequently, the growth in gross domestic product. You see that the country is experiencing positive GDP. That could be a sign that that is an emerging economy. Increased development in core infrastructure, right? For example, increase in technology infrastructure or internet infrastructure, right? Like, for example, African countries now maybe are trying to move to 4G and 5G if they can, right? That alone can prove that, oh, this country is going 10 steps ahead. That's an emerging market. It could be road infrastructure, right? Like, for example, if you read the African Economic News, you see that in the last couple of years, Kenya has been investing seriously in road infrastructure and to connect the East African region. That alone is pushing a lot of investors and making Kenya an incredible emerging market. Vibrancy of the youthful population. This is one of the major reasons why the global companies, global institutions, and the World Bank and the IMF are considering Africa as an incredible emerging market. Why? Because we have the youngest, vibrant, hot-headed population in the world, and it will be like that for the next couple of 20, 30 years. And that's why if you read all the reports and research about emerging markets, Africa is at the heart of it because we have this incredible youthful population. So look at this and look at the area you could find an emerging market around you. Now, practically now, what are the frameworks that you can use to actually access emerging markets? Right? And some of the things I will share, I have used them myself. I know incredible friends that are entrepreneurs in Tanzania, in Uganda, in Nigeria, in South Africa that are accessing emerging markets, not only within Africa, even in other continents, because they have used some of these practical frameworks I will share with you. And I would love that after sharing this framework, you can ask a question that is specific, how you can use this framework directly as far as your business is concerned or your career is concerned. Number one is, if you want to access emerging markets, the first step is access the history, insight, and foresight of that market that you desire. And of course, these are not in any order, okay? I just put in the point. You get a point? So what do I mean? Let's say that I desire to venture into, let me say, North Africa, and I would like to start with Morocco, right? I would like to study the history, the business history of Morocco. It's very important. And I'd like to study the present ecosystem of Morocco. That's the insight. And I would like to look at what are other experts saying as far as the future of Morocco is concerned. And what am I saying as a business person? Looking at the analysis, the data available, and all of that is very important. Don't try to venture into a market blind. It's not good. You're not a business person. Try to venture into the market with the right information as far as the history is concerned. Where are they coming from? Where are they presently? And where are they going to? This will greatly help you as far as accessing emerging markets is concerned. Number two is intentionally change location. Here's what I mean. See, at some point, it is important that you can just sit and pay a flight to a next country, to the next nation, or you can even travel by road. Just go to another city and experience what they're doing. Experience what is happening. Experience how they do business. Experience how they communicate. Experience how they build stuff. Experience how they innovate. Just intentionally do that. It must not be, you can even leave your city. There are some people that have lived in their country and have never gone to the capital city. And many of them are entrepreneurs or they are wannabe entrepreneurs. Just spare some money and intentionally change your location and go to the next city you have not been to. If possible, go to another country. Right? Like many of my clients always advise them, if you have not traveled to Nigeria, travel to Nigeria. If you have a lot of money, travel to South Africa. It's very important. Travel, just expose, and most importantly, go to the global hub, Dubai. It's very important. Just change and you see things. There's a way that it rearranges your mind and how you look at business, both in the global landscape and in a local context. It's a powerful tool. There are some things that you only learn from exposure, no matter how much you read and how much you watch YouTube videos, until you are in it. You have immersed yourself in it, you are part of it, you have experienced it, you have driven discussions in that location. There are some things that you cannot be part of. Again, it can be a city, it can be a town, it can be the next country, it can be the next continent, whatever you can, but intentionally try to move and experience how other people are doing stuff. It will help you to understand how other markets work, how other people are doing stuff, and it can help you to access new opportunities. Number three is leverage professional networks and collaborate. This is super powerful. And one thing that I love in the last couple of years in Africa is that there have been the incredible growth of professional networks. Incredible growth. Amazing guys are creating incredible stuff that young people can be part of and connect and collaborate and so on. One thing that really moves me about this is that this particular conference is organized by one of those networks, Alpha Global Leadership Academy, right? And there are many of those across Africa. There is Mogi, there is Yali, there is JCI, there are many of these professional networks that you can plug yourself inside, because when you are part of it, you are able to connect with different people, right? I have been able to go to a country because I connected with somebody in a professional network. You get a point? And there's no way you can go to a country if you're a smart person and you are an action-oriented, driven person. There's no way you can come back with empty hands. You come back with knowledge, experience, exposure, connections, possible business deals. Something should be able to come out from that area. So stop shying away. Intentionally, consistently push yourself into professional networks. They will gladly help you. And don't just be in networks. Influence connections. Influence collaboration. You get a point? It is super powerful. The only reason I am here talking is because I got connected to David. There's no magical. I don't think if there was no connection, there was no professional connection, and he fasted and prayed for 30 days and 30 nights, he would never have access to me and I would never have access to him. And there are many great guys across the continent and the world that I've connected to because of being part of incredible professional networks. So don't take this for granted. This is one of the best ways to access emerging markets. And these people also can give you information about their nations even before you travel. And even before you go there, they're already telling you, hey, go here, go here. get in here, and they will make things easier for you, and you're able to take advantage of these things. So start being part of good networks. Number 5 is leverage on franchising. Number 4, of course, leverage on franchising and network marketing models. Please don't misquote me about network marketing. Okay, franchising means I always encourage entrepreneurs and business people that this is a business strategy that you should learn. Try to know how it works. Try to know how great companies like Total, great companies like Chick-fil-A, great companies like KFC, great companies like McDonald's, great companies, how are they able to be in several nations efficiently being run by different people? Do you think it's not just one person running that kind of operations? There's a business strategy, and they mostly use franchising. It's very, very important to know how franchising works, and one of the very important ways to see how you can access new markets. Network marketing is a business strategy that companies use. It's not a company. Many people, when you mention network marketing, they see but a company. It's not a company. It's a strategy that a company uses to expand their reach, to distribute their products. And it's a model that any business can use if you know how to personalize it, customize it, and build what fits your business. Okay, so these are another way that you can use and venture into other markets, right? Good. We have used franchising in one of our businesses, and we have done a lot of work in more than 26 African countries, right? And it works like magic. You just need to have good systems, good policies, good ethics, good protocols, good policies and partnerships, and find trusted people and let them understand there are roles and responsibilities and there are consequences if you mess up in this deal. You get a point? And that's why it's good to know business laws that are governing your nation and the nation where you desire to expand, either using the franchising model or the network marketing model. Number 5 is track economic policies and think long term. This is very important. If you desire to expand, you desire to move to another country or to expand to another country, it is imperative, very imperative, that you are somebody who pays attention to the economic policies of that area. Life example is just been normal for you to know. Life example, like right now, a good business person, a good entrepreneur should be paying attention. What are the various lockdown policies in all countries that you desire to expand to or you desire to do business in? Just know it. Know how these lockdown policies or lockdown regulations are affecting that particular country and the private sector and the general economic engineering of that country. It's very important. Know how the coming in of a new president affects the economic policy of that country. Know how a new finance minister, a new finance law, new business laws. Just pay attention to some of these. It's very, very important. And of course, think long term. You cannot expect to enter a new country and expect to dominate that country in 2 months or 3 months. You need to learn how they do things in that country. You need to master the buying behavior. You need to master the business policies, the finance policies, the tax laws. You need to master a lot of things. And so you cannot be excited about short-term benefits. You will crash out. You will never succeed. Look at any business that is dominating in a country that is foreign. They have spent a couple of years to be there. Some have even done up to 20 years, 15 years. So think long term and be somebody who pays attention to the economic policies of that country. Number 6 is don't assume. Use the data available, and if there's no data, find your data. Don't assume and go to a new market. I always say that assumption does not build a great business. Guesswork has never built any incredible business. It has been done on intentionality, data analysis, making informed decisions, strategically positioning what they have, and collaborating and working with the right set of people before they can succeed. Don't assume if you desire to go to a new market. You can even take 8 to 10 months and just gathering data and information about that particular country or city that you desire to venture in. Don't be in a rush. I always say that it's better to grow deep, don't grow large, especially in business expansion. Don't be excited when you want to expand. grew deep. Grew deep means have the right information, data analysis. Make sure, I'm not saying you should be perfect. I'm saying be in a position that you can make informed decision. Be in a position that if you make that move and you fail, you are comfortable that I did my best. I did my best. I had access to the best information. I put in all the necessary hard work. It was just supposed to fail. And you pick up yourself and you re strategize, you improve on that strategy, and you continue implementing until you conquer that market. For example, I love the story of Apple. It took Apple, no, it's not Apple, it's Starbucks. It took Starbucks almost 7 years before they had success in China. 7 years of failing and failing and failing and failing before they had success in China. It took Apple to a couple of years, they were failing and failing before Steve Jobs asked one particular operations officer to leave San Francisco and go to China and make it work because they had learned, they had gathered information and all of that. And it's also good to learn how these big companies, that's good to read business case studies, especially case studies in your field. If you're in technology, read how Apple expanded to other countries, Microsoft, IBM, Tesla. Just try to study, read their case studies. You can learn a lot from it, and you can contextualize, customize it, localize it, and let it fit what you want to do. Number 8 is master key operations, distribution, moving money, and economic policies. Now, this is very important. There is no way that you will succeed in an emerging market if you don't know how to increase access to what you want to sell. Do you have a good distribution model that is so effective, so cost effective? Do you have a perfect way that you can receive money and also save and also send money? How you move money is very important. Of course, for those who have tried to do business in several African countries, you will know that in the last several decades, one of our biggest headaches as young entrepreneurs and even business people in Africa is to receive money in Africa, to send money between countries. Just imagine that we had a single payment system that we can easily send and receive money in all 54 African countries. Our market is still very fragmented. And the day we're going to have that, and I love the way fintech startups and companies are rising up in Nigeria, Kenya, Tanzania. Guys are building incredible startups that will help us solve this problem. Where you can sell anything from any nation to anybody in Africa, that would be incredible. And of course, if you are tracking the payment issues in Africa, you understand that the biggest news in the last couple of weeks or days is the partnership between a MasterCard and this Nigerian fintech startup, whereby you can, if you have their app, you can receive money through MasterCard and some of these apps. That is incredible. That's a big breakthrough for us. And the easy movement of people, that's the current free trade zone in Africa that the African Union is pushing to enhance the way we move, right? I don't need to get a visa to come to Kenya. I don't need a visa to go to Tanzania, to go to Morocco, and all of that. That will enhance business. Pay attention to that and start seeing how you can take advantage of these new policies, new instruments, new talents, and new stuff that are happening that you can enhance your business as you desire to access emerging markets. And number 9, of course, is leverage on technology. I am right here in Nairobi, Kenya, and I'm speaking to guys. I heard there were guys from Liberia, Nigeria, Cameroon, and other countries that are following this show right now. This is technology. We are leveraging on technology to access new markets. I am a business consultant. I have worked with clients from almost 28 countries in the last 10 years, and I've not traveled to 28 countries, right? From Cameroon, I'm doing that. I only travel when it's necessary. That is leveraging technology. A good person who desires to access emerging markets, you have to master how to use digital tools, virtual digital tools, any platform, any digital tool that can enhance your ability to reach more people, learn how to use it. StreamYard, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, whatever, any platform that is so incredible, is efficient, and you can use it. Some you need to pay for it and see how you can have access to these emerging markets. Don't shy from technology. You need to push so hard and be so good at using all of these platforms. So these are some of these things are very general. When I work with businesses that want to access new markets, trust me, with technology is different. With an agricultural business is different. With education is different. So these are general stuff that you can pick and you can start customizing it to fit what you want to do. And now it's time for you to ask questions and let me know your questions and we can talk about it. I tried so much to use 30 minutes so that I can have enough time to answer questions and sort out some problems. I think the moderator is there and she can help us with that. My WhatsApp number is on the screen, +237 Cameroon code, and you can contact me and we talk. Thank you so much, moderator. I think you can coordinate the question and answer session.
All right, thank you so much for that enlightening session. So everyone, please, I want you to, put your hands together in the comment section. If you know you had an amazing time listening to Mr. David, put your hands together in the comment section. And right about now, it's time for questions and answers. So for the next 15 minutes or thereabout, we will be entertaining your questions. So what you're just going to do is drop your question in the comment section. I'll highlight it, and then Mr. Jordan will be here to provide answers to your questions. So it can be maybe you want to emerge into, you're thinking of launching into a new business, you don't know, just feel free to ask questions because these strategies, I think about 8 strategies he has shared, is very, very crucial if you really want to emerge to dominate new sectors. All right, so ask questions in the comment section and we'll acknowledge and answer those questions. Thank you so much. I think we are in the spirit that we're putting on you together. While you were speaking, I was like, okay, did Mr. David, announce that today the color of the day is blue blue? Well, that was insightful. Thank you, sir. Okay, please let's keep the questions coming. So, sir, while you were speaking, something really, I love how versatile you were with knowing different countries and, the states, even down here in Nigeria. I like the fact when you were able to mention states like Edo State and the rest. How often have you visited Nigeria? I was like, this one even one about that's something I love during the session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have a question from Joycelyn, and she says, given cybercrime is on the rise, how can we reconcile cybercrime and the emerging markets?
Absolutely. Very smart question. Very smart question. And of course, it's on the rise because when COVID-19 came, many companies moved their operations online. That's why it's called digital transformation right now, right? So, and that's why one of the biggest industries right now in the next couple of years will be cybersecurity. Because the more businesses go online, we will need a lot of expert cybersecurity guys that can help fight cybercrime. That's why a good business that is online, one of the most key people that you must have on your team is a cybersecurity expert. If possible, an ethical hacker. It's very, very important. So cybercrime, bad guys will always be there, right? So I can say like Jesus said one time, the poor you will always have with you, right? But don't be the poor. But what am I saying? We'll always have the bad guys around us. We always have cyber criminals around us. But a good business person, that's why I do a lot of consulting on digital transformation, teaching companies how they can transform, move their operations online and on the various platforms, right? And one thing that we pay attention to is cybersecurity. It's very important. So you're an entrepreneur, you're a business person, as long as you're moving your operations, whether it's 10%, 20%, or 100% of your operations, it's very important to intentionally invest in cybersecurity. If not, these guys of the underworld will do terrible things with your operations and negatively affect you. So we're on the rise, but of course, let us make good use of cybersecurity experts. Good. Thank you too.
Okay, thank you, sir, for that explanation. So, Fun Felix, your hands are up. I don't know if your hands are up like you have a question. I wish we could pass the mic to you, but we can't pass the mic. So, please type your question in the comment section and I would highlight it and answers will be provided to it. All right, so Fun Felix, I hope you got what I said. So every other person, maybe you have a question about business. This is the right opportunity because to ask that question. Maybe you're just starting up, you don't even know how to. You've not even a match. You just have the idea. You don't know how to start. Yes. Okay, so Mr. David just almost asked the question in my mind. It says the question is, what is the first step to do as a startup to have the right business set up? So there are two questions. And the second one is, what is the criteria for choosing a startup co-founder? Powerful question. So, sir.
Absolutely. Very, very smart questions. Thank you so much, David, for that question. The first part is, there are a lot of moving parts that can help somebody to start a business. And actually, there's no first step. I believe I call it elements. There are a couple of elements that I think if you want to start a successful business, you need to make sure that you have these elements. It's not just a step. Okay, let me say the first set of elements you have. Number one is skill sets. No matter how much you want to succeed in business, if you don't have the right skills, that business will struggle. It's very important to look at what skills do you have to make this business succeed. And even the second question, that way the co-founder stuff coming, right? You can bring a co-founder in because you know that this person has this very important piece of my business that I don't have this skill and I don't have money to pay to have somebody with this skill to do something. Let's say, for example, you have a business that an important part of that business is an app. And for you to build an app, it may have to cost you maybe $5,000 and above. You get a point? And you don't have $5,000, but you have, for your business model to be complete, you need this app to be functional. You can get a tech guy and make him a co-founder just because of for that reason. But of course, you need to look at other soft skills. Does he understand the vision? Is he committed to it? Does he have the desire to see that this will succeed? Is he thinking long term like you? Is he willing to put in blood and sweat to see that this idea works? When you look at all of these and you look at the skills that they have, that could be a very good criteria to bring in a co-founder. You get a point? And of course, skill set is very important in starting a business. Number two is what the market gap. There's nothing new under the sun, but there are gaps in every market. There are gaps in every market. There is always a gap that you can fill. What is that gap? What is that problem that has created a gap that you now have the ability to create value or to create a solution to fill this gap? Right? Skill set, find the gap, have the ability to create the solution. And of course, number four, the fourth element is your ability to market. Your ability to market. No matter how good you are, if nobody knows you, die broke. If you cannot do marketing and sales, business is not for you. Go and get a job somewhere. Even to get a job now, you need to market yourself very well if you get a job. You get a point. So it is important that all of these elements are there. And you need to have a growth mindset. If you have done business for more than 1, 2, 3 years, you understand that what the ideas you have in your mind before you were starting and the ideas you have now when you started are two different things, right? So if you need to have that agile mindset, that growing mindset, that customized mindset that you can quickly fit in and take advantage of opportunities, quickly learn from your failures and stop crying and just move forward and make it work. So business is several moving parts. And that's why agility and dynamism is one of the most important soft skills that any business person at the startup stage, at the maturity stage, at the growing stage must always have.
Okay, thank you, sir, for that answer. We have another question from Fun Felix. Fun Felix says you talked about collating data in new environments. Advice on modules to employ in gathering the data. Also, can you advise on the modules that can be employed in gathering the data?
Absolutely. There are many ways that you can collect good data. And it's very important to be very dynamic and try to find many sources. For example, basically, many countries have National Institute of Statistics. You can start from there and get secondary data. If you're in business, of course, you will know that um, African Development Bank, World Bank Africa, IMF, and many of these institutions, they have data, they have written papers and documents that you can use and collect secondary data, right? You can use all of that. You can use research papers. Now, there are many business MBA students, PhD students in business that are carrying a lot of research about various things in Africa as far as business is concerned. Know where to find these and use also. Another way is pass through people. Ask questions one on one. Like, for example, there was time I was going to Abuja for something. I got my guys in Abuja that were connected just on the internet. And I was asking them questions about this and this and this and this and this. That's data to collect. Okay. If you have your money, like most people do, you can pay a market research agency in that country, in that city, in that community, and give them a task, give them your objectives, what they're looking for, and they'll carry out a research for you. You can travel to that city yourself, interview people, visit government offices, visit youth NGOs, visit incubators, visit hubs, and all of that. So these are many ways that you can use and get the data you're looking for in whatever context. One thing about this age, about this century is that you can get any kind of data depending on whatever means that you have and make good use of it and grow your business.
Okay, thank you, sir, for that question. Fun, I hope you got the answer. That is the answer you're seeking for. If you need more clarification, type in the comment section. I will draw the attention of us. Okay. So, but I just want to ask, most times, now we're talking about the re-emerging market, assessing the re-emerging market. And we know that the COVID-19 has changed the structure of how things now operate. So, what are the things? Okay, you talked about the skill set. Now, if someone wants to get into a business that wants to start up something, I'm still going to talk about startup because I believe this sometimes majorly attended by youth. And most times, most youth are like, okay, apart from having the skill set, there are some visions. Okay, maybe I want to develop an app. How do I get the funding? How do I get for someone who is like in the that wants to emerge in the social impact sector, where we know that there are lots of fundings required. I know you listed some things about partnership, but someone who is just starting, what are the practical? Maybe you can share from your experience because from your world of knowledge, I believe you may have experienced this to get to this level. But someone who wants to reemerge in the social impact sector and already has a skill, what else? How does he attract funding or get the right partnership to be able to scale that vision to the next level?
Very good question. Now, the truth is, there's a lot of money out there to fund good ideas. That's a fact. The growth of venture capitalists and investment funds and all of that, people have money to put in good ideas. One of the biggest challenges that we have with many young people is they want people to fund ideas. People want to fund track record. People want to fund proven concept. People want to fund growing stuff. You get a point? And that's why it's important that, as I always say this, you don't need external money to start a business. You need external money to grow a business. Hear this again. You don't need external money to start a business or whatever you want to start. You need external money to grow a business. And it is actually very, very easy, very, very easy for you to have the support you are looking for when you are talking with proof of concept. You get a point. For example, if I come to you and say, let me say I want to run a restaurant, for example. I come to you and say, please, moderator, I want to start a restaurant business, and I'm thinking that I will start at Moy Avenue, and I want to do that and do this. That's one thing, right? No, but the second person comes. Madam Moderator, I have this roadside restaurant whereby I sell from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And at the moment, I sell 15 plates of food every day, and I make a profit of $200 or 3,000 naira or 1,000 shillings or Ghana cedis, whatever I want to use, right? Who will you listen to more? You listen to somebody who is giving you data, facts, and a proven concept. And even if the proven concept, you are still not succeeding. For example, you say, okay, you know what? I have been in this business for 2 years. This is my track record, but I have not yet break even. I am not yet making profit. And I need this money to do this, put it here, then I will see this happen. That is why a good investor will always ask you, how will you use this money and how will this money make your business better? That's the first thing. And when you do that, the second thing is know how to tell your story. That's why you need to know how to develop a good pitch deck. A good pitch deck. In social enterprise or NGOs, I like to call it an impact deck. It could be a 10-slide PowerPoint presentation where you're talking about, this is what we have done. This is how I have come so far. And trust me, people will put money into your idea. And from number 3, when you have proven the track record, you know how to tell your story. You have your impact deck or pitch deck. It's very important to know how to position yourself where the right people can find you. Positioning is a very important stage when you're looking for money. If you have a good idea, you have a good impact deck, and nobody can find you, you are not in the right room, nobody will give you money. You cannot be in areas where there are broke people. Like I'll tell you, like for example, if you're looking for, you have the right concept, the right business, and all of that, and you are like in Abuja, I would like to see you try to have events in Sheraton Hotel, right, or Hilton Hotel, or these incredible places. Try to attend events that you know that this kind of people will be there. There are some times that I buy a ticket to an event not because of what I want to learn, but because who I'll meet, because who will see me in that event. You got a point? That's called positioning. And at some point, we need to move from, a lot of us are so much on Facebook and Instagram, is good. But sometimes you're looking for money, you need to be on Twitter and LinkedIn. Right? That's where the real people are. That's where you can find the real people. You get a point? So these are some of the things that I have done, and I've advised my startup clients and those that I mentor that they do, and they are seeing results. And from there, you need to know how to maintain relationships, of course, and know how to drive a sales discussion. What they talk about, not to pitch yourself, not to talk about yourself. Okay, know how to drive a sales discussion, know how to talk man to man, woman to woman, lady to lady, know how to say the right things at the right time, influence people to understand where you're going to and how they can be part of it. Okay, don't go with a begging mentality. Go with an exchange of value mentality. Go with a discussion mentality. Go with a partnership mentality. Get and when you do that, a lot can happen from there.
Okay, thank you for the explanation. It was really apt. I love questions. It has a way of bringing more responses at all. Thank you, learn more. I was just writing a whole lot on my note. Thank you for that response. I believe it has helped me and a lot of other persons. So DKT asked a question. It says,
Yes.
thanks again, remarkable. How do you manage being turned down during sales and also continuing?
Yeah, yeah. Very, very, very pertinent question. Of course, there's no business person who has never been turned down. Of course, I have gone to get a training, or like I would love to train in this place, and they turned me down that it's not for me, and or do a consulting bid and proposal, and they don't call me back, and all of that. It happens. Okay, that's as long as you're in business, you have a special relationship with getting rejected till you stop. Okay, so everybody will not accept you. Have that in the bottom of your mind, and then do this important thing. Anytime you have been rejected, there is always a lesson in every sales rejection, particularly sales. You will always, always learn something in every sales rejection. There is no sales rejection that you will not learn anything if you pay attention to it. Number one, you may learn that it was the wrong market. Yes. And next time, you will know who to market that thing to. Number two, you will learn that you did not know how to drive the sales conversation. And you go and learn how to be good at presenting your ideas. Number three, you could learn that the buying power of that person was not enough to buy what you're selling. So you need to start selling to the right people. That's why it's not always, we always say that it's not just about the target market. Also ask yourself, is there money in that target market? And that's why it's good for a good entrepreneur to have basic data about the income level of the people you're selling to, because if you don't know, you can overprice and they will like your product, but they don't have money to pay because their income level does not warrant them to pay that kind of stuff. You see, so always know that you'll be rejected, but learn from it and continuously sell, because you will not give up because you are rejected. Of course, you need to consistently be in business. And the only way to be in business is to have more sales discussion and always push for sales. Okay? But always learn and become. That is why the more you sell, you become better at selling. You get a point? Yes, because you're learning the engineering of sales, you're mastering the frictions, you're learning how to structure your business and talk about it and influence the market and all of that. All of these greatly help you to uh, 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 to, to to do that. So as long as your product is there, of course, especially a product that has already somebody has already paid for it, it means there's a market. You already have a proven concept. Like somebody have removed money and paid for your product. That's good news, my brother. Go for it. So the next person should not reject you and you give up. Meanwhile, somebody already proved to you that there is a need for what you're selling, there's a market for it, and there is a human being that has money to pay for it. Go for it.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Joybert, for that. We're going to take this final question before you give your final words, and then we'll move on to the next session for today. Still coming from DKT, and he's saying, um, how should we manage competition in the emerging market? How should we manage competition in the emerging market?
Yeah, competition is is something very cunning. It's something very, if you don't look at it the right way, you can be depressed, angry, feeling sad, and even rejecting yourself and your product because you are not mastering competition well. One of the things I do is I don't really look at competition. I look at what is the gap in the market and how can I fill this gap? Focus on your value, focus on your market. You get a point? You can learn from competition, but don't let competition depress you. For example, you can be struggling to compete with a company that has more money than you. They have more staff than you. They have more assets than you. They have more reach than you. That's no longer competition. You get a point? But if you focus on your target market, you focus on your model, you focus on being agile, you focus on being innovative, focus on improving on customers' feedback, focus on giving customers good experience, that is how you grow in business. And at some point, you start looking at how can I complement and how can I fill the gap that the person you are terming competition is leaving in the market. You get a point? I think that's the best way to look at competition, right? And when you look at it that way, you focus on your value, you focus on expressing it, and you focus on taking advantage of the gaps that you find in the market. The best competition you have is against the complaints that your customers give you about what you're selling. That is your best competition. It is not what a fellow company is doing, trust me. Okay? If you're able to pick what your customers are giving us feedback, complaints, you're able to pick the gaps that the market trends is showing to you, that is what you should be competing with. You should be focusing on rebuilding that, restructuring that, repackaging it, and pushing it out into the market. Of course, learn from what other guys are doing. Learn from them, observe them, but don't be under pressure because of this thing called competition.
Wow, 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 wow. This is just like more of a business strategy session, a virtual business strategy session with Mr. Joy Betts. Thank you so much for your time. You've shared a lot of nuggets, a lot of things that we need to go over and chew over. And thank you so much for gracing the stage at the Evolve Conference 2021. We're looking forward to connecting and also learning more from you. So, in just 1 minute, share your final words with us, and then we will have you in the stage. Thank you, sir.
Well, I think my final word is this is an African conference, and African need us. African need young people who are competent, who are driven, who think long term, and who are intentionally looking at how can I fill a gap in education, technology, agriculture, poverty, climate change, law and governance, whatever that you can do, find something and do. And you must not be an entrepreneur before you can do something. You can find a gap, what they call corporate entrepreneurs. In the company where you're already working and you're creating value, you're pushing that company forward, you're very innovative, and you're making it work. If you can create something and make it work, do that. But remember that the more skillful young people, the more competent young people that we have for the continent, the more we are very certain that we are going to make this continent go forward. Keep building, keep creating value, keep expressing value, keep monetizing that value, and definitely someday we'll all celebrate the incredible work that we have done so far.
Amazing, amazing. Can we give Mr. Joybert a powerful round of applause in the comment section? I want to see your hands. Thank you so much. Just like he says, we need leaders who are competent, who would create more value and also, keep dominating the market space. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. And we love you and we have learned a lot from you. We're going to make you proud. And we're looking forward to connecting with you. Ladies and gentlemen of Evolve Conference, can we put our hands together for Mr. Joybert as he takes a leap off the stage? Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, Joycelyn says, never a dull moment listening to Mr. Remarkable. Yes, thank you, Mr. Remarkable. We have learned a lot. Thank you, Joycelyn. More hands, more hands. Come on. If you're not clapping at this point, I wonder what you are doing. This is like a masterclass, a strategy session, especially the question and answer session. It was really enlightening. It made him deliver more from what he has even prepared because we asked personal questions. Thank you to everyone who asked questions. I think I'll give all of you one boko and one biscuit. Thank you for engaging. Yes, yeah, Eric says, thank you very much, Joybird, for the elaboration. Yes, yes, yes. So right about now, one thing I love about the structure of this conference, I want to say a big shout out to the team, the planning committee that is also headed by the president of ALGA, that is Alpha Global Leadership Academy, Mr. David Akinwale and his team, is how they built the structure of this conference. All right, we're looking at re-emergence. How do we re-emerge? And when Mr. Joybert was talking, he talked about something. He said that we need the right skill set. I think someone asked that question and he says, the person was like, how do I start or something? And the first thing he mentioned was skill set. He says, what skill do you have to make your business succeed? All right, that was what he said. And guess what? Can you guess what? Can you guess what? Our next speaker will be taking us on another journey where he will be talking about leveraging your skill set for productivity in the reimagined world. Leveraging your skill set for productivity in the reimagined world. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are excited and you still want more, I want you to get ready. The next speaker, Mr. Precious Anya Lewechi, profile will be read, and after the profile, he is going to take the stage, and I will be at the back end, jotting, writing down, and also engaging with everyone in the comment section. So the next thing you're going to see on your screen is the profile of Mr. Precious Anya Lewechi. And after the profile, please, I will want everyone to put their hands together as we make welcome Mr. Precious. Well,
Anyalewechi Precious is a Nigerian entrepreneur, consultant, network security specialist, and an avid thought influencer, and the CEO of the Ruby's Group, a fast-rising business brand with subsidiaries in technology, fashion, and consultancy. He upholds a thought pattern that there are no limits to what we can achieve so far as we are value and excellence driven. Currently a brand ambassador to the Chinmark Group, he has engaged over 6,500 entrepreneurs in UAE, UK, Pakistan, US, Cyprus, South Africa, Uganda, and Nigeria in his training sessions. He also leads a 40-man team of value-oriented youths in a campaign to skill the streets. With a standing ovation, welcome Precious Anyalewechi.
Thank you so much. Thank you so.
all right, welcome Mr. Precious. The stage is yours. I'll be at the back end.
All right, all right, all right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone that has attended the Evolve conference from day one. I believe you all have been amazing. Sorry, I'll have to adjust my camera to tweak my location. You all have been amazing. The very first speaker yesterday, from Mr. David Akinwale to Miss Mary, it's been back to back value. I, for one, have gotten way so much value. And also to my boss that just dealt with today's session. God bless you, sir. God bless you, sir. Thank you so, so much. The Evolve conference, I believe you all are ready today. Leveraging your skill sets for maximum productivity. Leveraging your skill sets for maximum productivity. Anyone who has a skill, this is for you. Say to yourself, write it down on the comment section. Say, tonight is for me. Tonight is for me. Tonight is for me to leverage my skill set for maximum productivity. tonight is for me to leverage my skill set for maximum productivity. We are in the Re-Emergence conference. We are reimagining. We are reimagining. It's one thing to listen, it's one thing to learn, it's another thing to apply. I would want to advise each and every one of us who has been on this platform gaining so much value. It is not just enough to know what to do or to hear what to do. The application matters. The application matters. Knowledge is not power. It is applied knowledge that is power. So when we rightfully apply the principles and the value we've gotten so far, definitely success will be ours to achieve. I'll be handling leveraging your skill sets for maximum productivity, and in less than an hour, I'll be done. Now, to re-emerge is simple. It's simply to appear again. It's to come back as a threat to failures, to return as a threat to limitations and circumstances. To re-emerge is to appear again, to come back as a threat to your limitations. That is what it means to re-emerge. It also means to come into limelight. It also means to come into limelight or to come into prominence again. To come into limelight or to come into prominence again. Now, a good number of us have been wondering, why the team re-emergence? We are in the third world economy where the government regulations itself does not even favor what we do as business people, as entrepreneurs, as creators. The government regulations does not favor us. So how do we break away from these limitations and then come back bigger, better, and stronger? Every greatness is at the mercy of re-emergence. Every greatness is at the mercy of re-emergence. Staying in one place is no longer stagnation. It is as a result of the unwillingness to move. We should tell ourselves the truth. In Africa, we demonize almost every failure. The devil is the one causing this thing. The devil is the one causing this thing. But outrightly, we have not discovered what to do. So, by God's mercies, I'll be very fast with this session. I wouldn't want to spend too much time here. But by God's mercies, we will break away those limitations, those mental limitations we have, and then we will re-emerge. Now, the assets of a man first begin with the quality of his skill set. The assets, ASSETS, of a man first begins with the quality of his skill set. If you are publishing assets, I have 5 houses, I have 2 cars, I have this digital investment. What is your skill set? How rich is your skill set? How rich is your skill set? What are you doing part-time that can generate way much income for you, even while you are not working for someone? That is what we'll be learning today. Skill set refers to a particular range of skills, experiences, abilities necessary to acquire and perform a job, and these skill sets or these abilities are possessed by an individual. I come back again. Skill set refers to a particular range of skills, experiences, and abilities necessary to acquire and perform a job. Anyone who has no skill has nothing to leverage on. Anyone who has no skill has nothing to leverage on. You can't be greater than your skills. If you're a web developer, the only thing that pumps in that cash for you if you are a sole web developer is web development. Hence, your skills is the foundation of your greatness. Skill set can be categorized into three categories. We have the soft skills, we have the hard skills, and we have the functional skills. Now, these soft skills are skills like leadership, coaching, communication, and the rest of it. Then the hard skills you can now call your forex trading, web development, generator repairs. Then the functional skills, you talk about the negotiation skills, financial management, human resources management, and the rest of it. I believe we all can hear me because I wouldn't want us to have an interruption. I believe everyone can hear me. I said skill set can be categorized into three, which is the soft skills, the hard skills, and the functional skills. Now, what must I do to re-emerge with my skill? What must I do to be productive with my skill? What must I do to be productive with my skill? Number one, get a skill that is scalable, fundable, and sellable. Get a skill that is scalable, fundable, and sellable. Get a skill that is scalable, fundable, and sellable. Any skill that is not scalable, fundable, and sellable is not a skill, but a systematic laziness. Any skill that is not scalable, fundable, and sellable is not a skill. It is laziness that you don't want to call laziness. You just glorified laziness. Your skills should be able to be sold. With your skills, you should be able to make money from it. Your skills should be able to be funded by either a venture capitalist or an angel investor. Your skill should be able to be transmogrified from being just a skill to a business. Your skill should be scalable. You should be able to have a scale up from the ordinary level, the ordinary generator repair and the rest of it, to a standard that the international community will recognize. So it is not enough to just get skills. Your skills should be scalable, your skills should be fundable, your skills should be sellable. Like I said, any skill that is not scalable, any skill that is not fundable is systematic laziness. You are just doing something that is not profitable. Anything that is not profitable to me is laziness. Now, with your skills, a smartphone and an internet, you should be able to re-emerge. With your skill, a smartphone and internet connection, you're a big man. You are the Dangote of your generation. With your skill, a smartphone, and an internet, you are the Dangote of your generation. We should tell ourselves the humble truth. What most people turn into businesses, what is being transformed into businesses these days are basically skills. I am an example of the whole thing. Setting up the Rubik's Group was as a result of my skills. Nothing else. It was just because I had these tech skills. I have these tech skills. And that was what I now transformed from just being a normal skill to being a business with 13 staffs. So your skill should be fundable, your skill should be sellable. You should be able to sell it to the general public, and your skill should be scalable. No skill set, no productivity. No skill set, no productivity. Secondly, what must I do to be productive with my skill set. The second thing that is most important that is lacking in the Generation Z is mentorship. Number two, stay mentored. Stay mentored. Stay mentored. There is one slang, or will I say a colloquial I normally use. I said, waiting you go see, or waiting you go climb up see. Your mentor go turn back, sit down, still see am. In this generation, we despise mentorship way too much. But that's wrong. To be productive in the future, to be productive in the reimagined world, you should stay mentored. Define what you want out of your career and what you want out of your skill set, and get a mentor in that category. Define what you want out of your career. Define what you need to learn to get there. Approach a mentorship relationship as a business. Stay mentored. Stay mentored. See, there are opportunities. There are opportunities that only your mentor will give to you. We should tell ourselves the truth. There are opportunities, countless opportunities that only your mentor will give to you as a skilled individual. I am a living example. How we grew the Rubik's group in 2 years plus to where we are now is just as a result of mentorship. What I'm telling you, I am not cooking up stories. I'm telling you my experiences. I'm telling you what I have applied. What I have applied. I submit under mentorship. A whole lot. I submit under mentorship. Under mentorship. In every category of life, not just in one category. In every category, I have separate mentors for that. Define what you want out of your career. Define what you want out of your skill set, and stay mentored to learn. Now, what most people do is we now approach the mentorship thing wrongly. Approach a mentor as a business person. Approach your mentorship as a business relationship. Will you mentor me? It's mundane, it's old. Will you be my mentor? It's old. Don't look for mentorship. I said something. I said life is not find a mentor and do well. Life is simply do well and a mentor will find you. Life is not find a mentor and do well. Life is simply do well and a mentor will find you. That's why the first thing I said was your skills should be scalable, fundable, and sellable. Because by the time these three things are in place, your predestined mentor will easily want you around. And the mistake we make is we are looking for that big man that would mentor us. No, that's wrong. We are looking for that big rich man to mentor us. Don't look too far. Don't look too far. That other dude of yours, that friend of yours that you did secondary school play with, that is now doing very well in his field or in that particular field you are, go and learn under that person. Don't look too far to be mentored. Start with your own professional network. Start with your own professional network. I believe you all can see me and you can hear me. You drop in the comments. I love reading them. Kudos to Mr. David. I'm seeing your comments. To attract a mentor, be teachable, be curious, be motivated, be talented, be well balanced, and also be reliable. How can you attract mentorship? Be teachable. If you are not teachable, you cannot grow. Be teachable, be curious. Be well balanced. Nobody wants to mentor a jaga jaga person. We should tell ourselves the truth. Nobody wants to mentor a jaga jaga person. You yourself find balance, and the mentorship will easily find you. Now, listen, the difference between friendship and mentorship is in the follow-up. Your mentor is not your friend. It's in the follow-up. Your mentor is not your friend. A whole lot of Generation Z every day, because this person say, okay, yes, I will mentor you. Every day, back-to-back messages. You start sending broadcast messages to your mentor. By the time you drop blocking, you go calm down. A mentor is someone whose qualities make up a much better version of you. A mentor is someone whose qualities make up a much better version of you. What must I do to be mentored? What must I do to be productive with my skill set? Rather, what must I do to be productive with my skill set? Number 3, have a niche. Have a niche. What must I do to be productive with my skill set? Have a niche. The first one, if you're just joining us, we are discussing what must I do to be productive with my skill set. The first one I said is develop or get a skill that is scalable, fundable, and sellable. And then the second one is stay mentored, because by the time you have that skill, you need to submit immediately under someone. And then after that, after you must have submitted to someone, have a niche. Number 3, have a niche. Have a niche. A niche is a specialized or focused area of a broader market that your skill set serves. A niche is a specialized or focused area of a broader market that your skill set serves. If you are an automobile repairer or an automobile mechanic, you should have a niche. You shouldn't be everywhere. You shouldn't do every cars. Have truth. You should have a niche. Streamline your activities. Streamline your skill set. One of the best ways to be productive in life is to master the art of streamlining. You are channeling your genuines to one particular sector per time. You are not everywhere. You are somewhere, and you are not everywhere. A niche is the hole in the current market where your skill set and your unique selling point will be appreciated. A niche is the vacancy that only you can fit in. So have a niche. You have a skill. Yes. How well have you streamlined your skill to a particular niche? You are a web developer, or let's say you are a software engineer. What is your niche? I actually love it way too much when I get to see and network with a whole lot of people, and then they'll just tell me, okay, I am just a UI and UX designer. I'll say, wow, just a UI and UX designer. You don't get plans to match. You don't get plans to have, maybe as a UI and UX designer now, you can develop the software now. But the dude will say, no, I don't develop. That's his niche. And then steadily, he's giving us his social proofs alone are showing us that yes, this guy is working. This guy has this client. So have a niche. Have a niche. You can't reimagine a confused state. Nobody reimagines in a confused state. Understand supply and demand and fix yourself there. Understand supply and demand and fix yourself there. As a skilled person, as someone who has a skill, understand the supply and demand and fix yourself there. To identify a productive skill and look out, or to identify a productive skill and its niche, look out for these following factors. I'll have to read it out. Easily identifiable customers, easily accessible customers, a neglected market, and a large potential market. Now let me explain this. In streamlining, don't just streamline, but are your customers easily identifiable? Before you start saying, okay, I am streamlining my skill set, the customers that will patronize you or the people that will need your services, can you easily identify them? That's number one. Can you easily assess them? That's the second thing you should do. You should know how to do, per se. Then the third thing you should do is, what is the market like? Is it large? Is it a large market? Understand these factors before you streamline. Is it a neglected market? Understand these factors before you streamline. So you wouldn't just get into a sector where you can't be productive on. If you're getting value, please drop a comment. I would really, really appreciate it. What must I do to be productive? Number one, get a skill that is scalable, fundable, and sellable. Then number two, stay mentored. Number three, have a niche. Number four, solve problems. Solve problems. Solve problems. The money in the third world economy is in the problems in the third world economy. The money in the third world economy is in the problems of the third world economy. The money in the third world economy is in the problems of the third world economy. Money no day, money no day, money no day. But top conglomerates are cashing out. How? Because they are simply solving problems. Top influencers with skills are cashing out. Why? Because they are simply solving problems. So solve problems. Listen, as long as the economy or as long as the world has problems, the people with solutions are the only ones that get productive. As long as the world has problems, the only productive ones are the ones with the solutions. Nobody goes to an unproductive man for answers. Your skill, you should use it to solve problems. You've spent way too much time developing the skills, or you're using it to solve the problem. You spent so much on developing your skills. Some of us, we spend 300K. We spend way too much money to learn one skill. Okay, what problem are you solving with your skill? You are just there, a glorified lazy man. Solve problems. You need to do a general thing differently. Solve problems. I always say this whenever I have a business session. I will always say, to be very, very productive in life, it's either you are solving a problem or you are creating pleasures to ease a problem. To be very, very productive in life, number one, it's either you are solving a problem or you are creating pleasures to ease a problem. Comedians that organizes shows, they are not problem solvers. Have they solved the problem before? No. They don't solve our problems. What they just do is they give us pleasure that eases our problems for that particular time. Some people will carry family problem and they will go to a stand-up comedian show, and then they will laugh, catch fun, catch cruise, and when they come back, family problem continues, but they have paid 250,000 naira for ticket. They have already paid. Comedian don't cash out. So it's either you are solving a problem or you are creating pleasures to ease a problem. All of them lies in problem solving. With your skill, get busy. With your skill, get busy. With your skill, solve real and painful problems. Solve real and painful problems with your skill. Solve real and painful problems. Don't solve what will not profit you. Solve real and painful problems with your skill. What must I do to be productive? Number 5. Number 1, I will always do a recap because of people that might just be joining. Number 1 thing is get a skill that is fundable, scalable, and sellable. The second thing is to stay mentored. The third thing is to have a niche. The fourth thing is to solve a problem. And then the fifth thing to do to be productive in the reimagined economy is simply flex the internet. Flex the internet. Flex the internet, which is social media. I'll be talking about social media. Flex the internet, streamlining social media. Now, there are statistically about 7 billion people in the world. But the beauty of this thing is, since there are 7 billion people in the world, there are almost 4 billion social media users in the world. That is money day. Imagine when you get to 7 billion people. Imagine when you get to 7 billion people. There are 7 billion people in the world, and there are about 4 billion social media users, of which Facebook alone has about 1.3 billion users. Flex the internet. You have a skill, and then the internet is not aware that you have a skill. You have a skill, and then social media is blind to your skill. That's wrong. The internet is the flattening curve for everyone. This life no balance, this life no balance. Now lie, now you know position where. The internet is your flattening curve. This life no balance. Now you know stand well. The internet is your flattening curve as a skilled individual. With the internet, you can make money. With the internet, you can get influential. With the internet, you can rule your world. With the internet, you can eat the world. With the internet, you can explore the world. Flex the internet. That is number 5. Flex the internet. Flex it. The fact is, money has not gone out of circulation. Money has only changed location. Money has not gone out of circulation. Money has only changed location. Hard truth. Africans, money has not stopped circulating. If it has, Dangote will not have money. There wouldn't be top fintechs. Can't you see what our Nigerian or African fintechs are doing? The likes of Flutterwave, Kuda. You see what they are doing? Money has not stopped circulating. Money has only changed location. Money is no longer in this part of the world. So for you to get back the money that has left this location, flex the internet. Use the internet. If you are in Ondo State, you can be doing your thing in Canada by the power of the internet. Flex the internet. Flex the internet. Flex the internet. I know why I'm emphasizing on this, because the only thing, or one of the things, not really the only thing, one of the things that helped me scale up fast, very, very fast, was the internet. When people were shouting pandemic, I was on the internet. I was showing up, consistently showing up. And then even gigs, clients that were not supposed to come to me, top firms that we are supposed to, at least maybe they might go to a business that has been established for, let's say, 5 years, 6 years now, but they came to me because of the internet. When people were shouting pandemic, the pandemic did not happen to me, it happened for me. So when the people were shouting pandemic, I was flexing the internet to grow the Rubik's. To re-emerge, do not worry about the size of your followers. I see a whole lot of you what you bother about is the number of people that follow you, the number of people that react on your comments, the number of people that react on your posts, the number of people that... No, that's wrong. That's wrong. In flexing the internet, you don't even take those things into... Those should not... It shouldn't be your anchor for showing up daily on the internet. Even if it's just one person that reacted to your post where you were talking about your skill or where you were actually displaying something worthful, something of value, even if it's one person, at least one person saw it. Flex the internet. Take your mind away from the size of your followers. Focus on the value of your community. Take your mind away from the size of your followers and focus on the value of your community. As an individual with skills, focus on the value of your community and take away the size of your followers. 5 of 1 billion followers that cannot give you money. We shouldn't have this conversation. On Twitter, few months ago on Twitter, there was one silly question that came up. They said between 30 million loyal followers and $30 million, which one will you choose? I chose the money because they might be loyal to me, but they might not necessarily help my vision. They might not necessarily grow my vision. So I will simply take the money that I will use with the wisdom that God has given to me to grow my vision. So do not focus on the size of your followers. It is the value of your community that matters. There are no barriers in the social media economy. In the social media economy, there are no barriers. In the social media economy, there are no barriers. Now, there is a first world economy. There is a second world economy. First world economy for developed countries. Second world economy for developing countries. Third world economy for underdeveloped countries. And then the fourth one is the social media economy. Now, the social media economy has no limitations. It has no barriers. It has no geographical limitations. Nothing at all. Nothing. Social media economy. And people who are cashing out daily. There are no barriers in the social media economy. How do you flex the internet, or this, which is social media? I streamlined to social media. How do you flex the internet? Number one, create multiple social media platforms. Create multiple social media platforms. We are on Facebook is not enough. Guy, what's the social media handle? We are on Facebook. It is not enough. We are on Facebook is not enough. Get active on Instagram. Go to Twitter. Go to LinkedIn and be professional about it. Create multiple social media platforms. To me, anything that is a social media platform, I am on it. Anything, so far as it's a social media platform, I am on it. Even if I don't even like this TikTok and Thriller thing, I don't use them, but I am actively on it. I'm very active on it. I'm waiting for them. I'm coming. How do I flex the internet? Create multiple social media platforms. Then the second thing to do is define your marketing goals. Okay, now you have a skill. You want to be very productive with your skill. You want your skill to fetch you money. You want your skill to impact the world. Define that goal. Define that goal. And then show up daily. Showing up daily is the third one. Show up daily. How do you flex the internet? Show up daily. Show up daily. Most times I go through so many people, their timeline, and then I am like, but you said you be web developer. How far? I don't see any proof. I don't see nothing. What I'm seeing is you being tagged. So how can I get productive in the reimagined world? First thing I said, get a skill that is fundable, scalable, sellable. Second thing I said is stay mentored. The third thing I said, have a niche. The fourth thing I said is solve problems. The fifth thing I said is flex the internet. And the sixth thing I would want to say is be consistently creative, or be creatively consistent. Be creatively consistent. Be creatively consistent. Creativity is a differentiator. Consistency is a catalyst. Creativity is a differentiator. Creativity is what will differentiate you, your skill, from your competition. Then consistency is the catalyst that will catalyze your skill and the little efforts you are making to big moves and big impacts. So be creatively consistent. Wow, my time is almost up. Be creatively consistent. Be creatively consistent. Don't just be consistent. Don't just be showing off. Okay, you're showing up daily, 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 but people are still seeing the same thing. With time, they'll get bored. And when people get bored, block button is the next thing. So be creatively consistent. I said it before, I would love someone to write it so I can still see it. Creativity is a differentiator. Consistency is a catalyst. Creativity is a differentiator. Consistency is a catalyst. Creativity is a differentiator. Consistency is a catalyst. What must I do to be productive in the reimagined world? Number 7, yeah. Number 7, build a system. Build a system. My mentor in business, Dr. Maxman Chinedi Joma, the CEO of Chima Group, he said something. He said systems is simply saving yourself stress, time, energy, and money. As someone who has skills and wants to be productive, you should build a system around it. Build a system around it. You are not necessarily setting up a company. No, you are setting up your systems. It is your systems that will announce itself as a company. Build a system. Build something that will save yourself stress, time, energy, and money. Build a system. Try as much as possible to improve on what you have. Improve on what you have. Improve on what you have. There was one session I had and I discussed on systems. I analyzed systems way too much. I wish there would have been a playback, or I had a playback, but I don't have. I discussed a whole lot on systems. I was talking about technological advances. It is a system. You are a developer, a creator, and you're still using a mobile device. Yeah, that's fine. That's amazing. Try and get a system, a laptop. Build a system. Advance in technology. Advance in negotiation. Build a system. Now, there are 3 most important people to have, especially when you're someone with a skill. There are 3 most important people you're supposed to have, because definitely your skill will grow to become a business. You should have a sales closer. These people call them business executives or business developers. For me, I call them a sales closer. If you have a sales closer, you should have someone that does your negotiation for you, so you wouldn't start beating yourself over friends and family that want to do business with you and the rest of it, or that want your services. So get a sales closer, get a HR, a human resource personnel, and possibly get a content creator. So we should have these systems in place for you that with a skill. Then the last thing I would want to state, which is number 8, what must I do to be productive? Number 8, leverage. This is where I am supposed to pitch my tent. Leverage. The best way to be productive in life, in skills, in career, in business, in academics, in every sector of your life is leverage. Leverage is life itself. Leverage is the definition of life itself. It's simply leverage. It's simply leverage. Simply leverage. Leverage, leverage, leverage. www.the Group is as a product of leverage, nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. I started a brand I started a brand with about 25% tech skill. Yeah, 25% tech skill. That was what I started a technological company with. 25% tech skill. It was when we started, I went for personal development. I went for personal and corporate development. That is leverage. I'll come to that. In leverage, don't just because you want to leverage and then you are not good with your craft. No, master the art. That is the first form of leverage. You mastering your art. You are skilled, but are you a master at it? If they call the top 5 or in your niche within your location, if they call the top 5 people, are you among? If you're not among, go back and master the art. You're a graphic designer. Yeah. If they are calling best graphic designers within your social media space, will your name be featured? If no, go back and master the art. Master the art. Master the art. Then the second thing you should do in leverage, I'm discussing leverage now, master the art. The second thing you should do in leverage is flex opportunities. Utilize opportunities. Yeah, you've mastered the art. You've mastered the art. Utilize opportunities. Opportunities should not just come and go. Opportunities should be mastered. Opportunities should be mastered. Yeah, opportunities should be mastered. Be a master over opportunities. So when it comes, it wouldn't throw you off balance. You're already balanced. You're already capable of performing a particular task per time. So master your art. Also master opportunities. Master your art. Also master opportunities. That is develop capacity. Sorry, I have a way I use my own words. So develop capacity, which is master opportunities. Leverage on other people's money, OPM. Leverage on other people's connection, OPC. Leverage on other people's knowledge, OPK. Leverage on other people's time, OPT. Leverage on other people's work. Leverage on other people's experience. Leverage on other people's resources, OPR. Leverage on other people's ideas, OPI. You should always have leverage. Leverage as a skilled personnel. You cannot do everything per time. You cannot be way too productive by just you alone. So utilize leverage. You know how to do this. Can you do the other one? If no, call someone. Collabo. Collaboration is amazing. So hence there's no need for competition. Leverage. Till today, I am still utilizing leverage. Till today and till tomorrow, I will still utilize leverage. Leverage. That's the 8th thing to do as someone who has skills. Utilize leverage. Other people's time. If you want to be productive, you should know how to play around and utilize other people's time, other people's money, other people's work, other people's resources, other people's ideas, other people's connection. Utilize them, flex all these, and success will be yours, because definitely you will emerge. I think I'm done with this session. Where are my moderators? I'm done with this session. If you got value, please drop a comment so I know that you got value from this dimension.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is mind blowing. Yesterday was disruptive. Today is mind blowing. Thank you so much, Mr. Precious. I was not expecting this session to come in this angle, but these are relatable and practical steps you've given to us this evening to help us, maximize our skill set for productivity. You made mention of relatable points. It's not like something someone has to go and start reading or researching or Googling. Practical steps to leverage our skills for productivity. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, everyone, please, if you have benefited from this session, type in the comment section what you learned. And also, this time is for questions. What questions do you have for Mr. Precious? Let it out. He's so loaded. He's so loaded. Can you see the nuggets he was dropping? Different mind blowing nuggets. Thank you so much, Mr. Precious. It has been insightful thus far.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
So, guys, questions, keep them coming. Keep your questions coming. So, but I want to ask. I know someone may be thinking about this. This is Africa's largest restaurant leadership summit, and we have a lot of youth on this platform. And now someone may be like, okay, I don't have a skill yet. I don't have the money to acquire that skill. Because now the foundation is having a skill. And these days we know that some skills that require, some level of finance. Now, when someone is saying that, okay, I'm still at the ground base, I'm still at zero level, how can I start from there to build a skill? Because we can't talk about productivity in the skill without first having a skill. So if someone is there and saying, okay, I really, especially we're talking about re-emergence, and re-emergence is the new way the world is going. Everything is going towards technology, skill sets in technology. And so, what would be your advice to that person?
Okay, for someone who does not have a skill, let me get your question right.
Yes.
For someone who does not have a skill and want to develop a skill and re-emerge, it's simple.
Yes.
Volunteering. It's simple volunteering. Now, there is one benefit of volunteering is it gives you experience. Number two, so yeah, you don't have a skill. You are video. Let's use video editing. Now, there is this conference. There is led by Mr. David. Please volunteer. Join the video editors. Let them teach you. When you volunteer, you guys are working together. Definitely, you'll be getting at least practical knowledge, very real and practical knowledge on what you are supposed to have learned, and you've paid. You're not paying no dime, but with your volunteering, with you volunteering, you are with them. An observant person will learn. Hence, there is actually no need to start killing yourself with, oh, I don't have the money to have this skill, and then you are being lazy about it. No, simply, if you know the skill you want to, even if it's generator repair, go to the man shop and tell him you want to be working with him for free. Let him not pay you. You just want to be seeing what he's doing. Volunteering. That's all. That's all. Volunteering. You must not necessarily pay 9 million naira to learn a skill. Just volunteer. Be a volunteer. Flex volunteering. When it comes, jump on it. You will learn with you being very observant. You will learn, and then by the time you learn, you already have a foundation. Then, like I said, increase your inability. Because you can't tell me you don't have the money. So, go and do it.
Oh, wow, wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Precious. This is like a heavy pill. You're giving us, when they are giving pills for people to take, depending on the level of ignorance or sickness, they usually tell them, okay, take 2 pills, take 3 pills. But you just gave us like eight doses. Like you just want to finish us this evening. I believe a lot of people are like, oh my God, how do I assimilate this? And you talked about mentorship, which is so powerful. I've experienced the power of mentorship. And you talked about something where you say, when you become good, mentors will come after you because mentors are really looking for people where they can also have a symbiotic relationship, not a parasitic one. That is also a powerful point. You talked about leverage. You talked about social media. You talked about phone. Oh my goodness. Finish us. Finish us. Thank you so much, Mr. Precious. And I believe everyone who is on this call, who is watching this video, and those who would still catch the replay have learned a lot. They've been empowered with practical strategies to become productive in the reimagined world, because the COVID system, the COVID that came has ushered us into new world, a new world where see us, we are all, I'm sitting in the comfort of my home, you're sitting in the comfort of your home, and every other person in the comment section are just staying in the comfort of their home, and they are assessing real value. So that's the new one. And thank you so much. I'm looking up for questions, but if I can't find any questions, we are already almost at the limit of time. So this is 1 minute to 9 p.m. and your session is meant to end by 9 p.m. So we can't see any questions, but I would just like you to leave your final words with the participants and the attendees of Evolve Conference 2021. Okay, someone has a question. Okay, before your final word, please just attend to this question. The person says, I have the skill of public speaking and the skill of helping people discover purpose. I'm into these two things, and some persons know me for it. But how do I build a business around it?
Okay, I have and the skill of helping people discover purpose. I mean, so how do I build it? Yeah, it is simple. In building a business around public speaking, number one, the first thing you should do is improve, work on yourself, improve yourself. See, people will come for you for free when your value is minimal. Hard truth. People will come for you when your value is minimal. They will come for free. They will just want to use you. Now that you want to make it a business, understand that you must not make it a business. It might not necessarily be a business, like a business, but it's a side hustle. This public speaking, this skill of helping people discover purpose, I will pinpoint them. Public speaking, first of all, work on yourself, go for more knowledge, because by the time you have grown to a certain level, automatically it gets monetized, even without it becoming a business. It gets monetized. People that would want your services will now come and tell you, guy, how far? I would want you to speak in this particular event. What is your charge? Then the next thing you now do is to master the art of negotiation. In the skill of public speaking, master the art of negotiation. After you've worked on yourself, you develop massive capacity. Master the art of negotiation. So when the guy comes, you don't go and tell him, give me 5,000 naira for 3 days. No. By the time you've mastered the art of negotiation, you know that your time is your asset. Your time is your asset, and then your value, your wisdom, your sense, they know the buyer for market. Sir, what you will pay me for this session is 50,000 naira per hour. And the dude say, 50K is too much, oh, help us, let's do 20. He say, no, 25. He accepts, sends in the 25K to your account. You're already monetizing it. You did not do any logo. So you must not necessarily really go into it as a business and start employing people. No, you must not necessarily make it a business. You can just make it a side hustle. Then the skill of helping people discover purpose. First of all, sir, or ma, I will advise you simply streamline people. People is a general word. Which particular set of people are you helping? Streamline it. Streamline it. Exactly what I was saying. Streamline it. Let's say you want to help adolescents or you want to help teenagers. When it is streamlined, then you can now set up maybe a non-governmental organization where you help pick these teenagers, or really, if you are doing it for profit's sake, just like you rightly stated, you want to make it a business, you are doing it for profit's sake, you can set up an academy helping people discover purpose. How? Set up an academy, Purpose Discovery Academy. Parents can come in to sign in, maybe if it's basically children or teenagers, come in to sign up their children, and then you get paid for it. You develop the business model around it, and it becomes a business automatically. So for the skill of public speaking, make it a side hustle. The other one for helping people, you can set up an academy towards it, or a consultancy firm. Okay, I saw another question here. Please, I want to know how many mentors one would need in a single business. I'm not you, so I practically might not know how to tell you this, but see what I do. Listen what I do. I have a business mentor, just one business mentor. I have a life mentor. This person is the person I relate everything about me, life to. I have a personal development coach. Is also my mentor, a personal development coach. And then I have vast array or a wide array of role models. So the thing you should also understand this question is it mentorship? Mentorship is like religion. Everyone has their own belief. Now, your mentor is someone that you can assess, someone that you will meet that will give you information. So it's just advisable to get one person that is living your dream life legitimately and submit under that person to learn. You must not have so many. Just like they say, plenty people they cook soup, the soup will spoil.
Okay, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We have come to the end of the day 2 of Evolve Conference. Thank you so much, Mr. Precious. You have indeed been a blessing. You've shifted our mindset, and I will promise you we're going to take action. So, guys, I want you to make sure you connect with Mr. Precious. For those of you who also want to follow him, and one thing I love about conferences is that they give you an array of people you can look up to and people you can connect with. I remember what he talked about in mentorship. So you can apply some of those strategies to him because he is someone loaded with value. You can see that already. Just from the question and answer, we are started mentioning important points for you to pick up. So volunteering is important, and mentorship is also key. And you should also see how to differentiate between role models, mentors, and coaches. Thank you so much. That is how far we can go in today's conference. Thank you, Mr. Precious. Any final words in just 1 minute? And yeah, we'll wrap up.
Okay. Final word is honor God. Honor God. Without God, nothing else. God not the plug. Now God will run.
We All right, so I'm going to let you go, Mr. Precious. It's been an amazing time having you on behalf of Alpha Global Leadership School, on behalf of the convener of the Evolve Conference 2021, Mr. David Akinwale, and the whole team working behind the scenes to see to the success of this event. We want to say thank you so much. We were blessed, we have been enlightened, and we are going to take action. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Do have a nice night.
Okay, guys, so there you have it. Mr. Precious has given us 8 complete capsule doses for us to go and take. This one is overdose. And I really want to appreciate everyone who kept engaging in the comment section. Thank you so much for your questions. Thank you so much for engaging. Thank you for making the conference lively and not just leaving me to myself. Your comments, has a way of inspiring me. So, on the final words, I just want to share 1 or 2 bits for Mr. Precious or someone who asked the question about public speaking. You can see how to connect with me because apart from the fact that I am a corporate MC, I also run a personal development consult where we also give out mentorship and purpose discovery and the rest of it. Okay, so do want to connect with me? I can share some of tips on how you can begin to monetize public speaking. Public speaking is something you have to do in a long while, but then you need to get good at it And then there are different ways. Event anchoring is one of the ways to monetize public speaking. Doing voiceover is one of the ways to monetize public speaking. You can also begin to do your podcast. You can also do your YouTube. These are in the long run. But by the time you begin to do some of these things, in the long run, it's going to pay you and you're going to enjoy what you do. We've come to the end of tonight's session, and I believe you've been blessed. The ball is now in your court. What are you going to do about it? The ball is in your court. Are you going to set a strategic plan and say, as I am reimagined, this is what I want to achieve? Are you going to say, are you going to go back to the drawing board and write down what action you would start taking from today? So I want you to don't just get over the excitement of tonight's summit. Go back and begin to pen down, who am I reimagining as? Who do I want the world to see me as? Think about that, Adam. God bless you. We're going to be getting back tomorrow for the final and the most, the best is always reserved for the last. And just like we said, the bottom part is always the sweetest. Don't miss tomorrow's session. Don't miss tomorrow's session. Don't miss it. Oh, get your family, get your friends. If you know that you have been getting a lot of value, get your friends, get your family, share on social media, and do well to come here. After the summit, one thing you're going to do is get the link to today's event and share on your status, share on social media, that is on Facebook, on Instagram, and make sure you tag ALGA, that is Alpha ALGA. Mr. David, please type the social media handle for ALGA so that people can tag you when they make posts about today's summit. All right, please just do well to type it. It's ALGA, Alpha Global Leadership School. Make sure you're following ALGA on Facebook, on Instagram, and on also Telegram. Till I come your way again, same time tomorrow. Keep being productive. Okay, so yes, the handle is at ALGA Academy. So I'm going to just pin it, ALGA Academy, and also at David Akinwale. So these are the two handles you should tag. Make sure you're following ALGA Academy on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, and also Mr. David Akinwale, who is the visionary behind the Evolve Conference 2021. I believe it has been value for your time. Yes, I know it has. I know it has. So see you tomorrow by 6:50. We're going to be live. The summit starts by 7. So make sure you're here before time and make sure you don't come alone. I go by the name McAnn, and it is M to the A to the C to the A to the double N-E. And it is my delight to be the moderator for ALGA for Evolve Conference 2021. Yes, thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.